Hi guys, my name is Vanessa Smedley and I'm a painter. I hope you all had a really wonderful holiday season, but for now we are going to leave the snow scene genre behind and we are going to paint this wonderful sunset seascape. Because to be perfectly frank, I'm really tired of painting snow scenes. So let's do this! Here are the materials I used. Feel free to screenshot or they're listed in the description for you. This painting is pretty much all sky and we need to do this wet on wet very quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and mix up all of my colors up front. So I'm starting out with ultramarine blue, French ultramarine actually, and then I'm going to add in some cadmium free orange to that. Next I prepare some indigo blue, and some French ultramarine mixed with Payne's gray. Next we have some Naples Yellow. Next we're going to mix up a nice coral color, so I'm starting out with cadmium orange and then I'm going to add in some opera rose. And I go back and forth quite a bit trying to decide exactly what color I want with this. Then I prepare a pool of opera rose by itself just in case I need it. And then go back in and add some more opera rose to that coral mix because it wasn't quite pink enough. I'm going to start out as usual by wetting the entire sky with my 1.5 inch Hake brush. And this is going to allow me to drop in all of those colors quickly and they'll run together and make a great sky. So I'm starting out with my ultramarine blue and cadmium orange mix and I'm laying that across the top half of the sky. I'm just making sure not to take it all the way down to the horizon because I don't want it to mix with my yellow. Now I am using Naples Yellow, which doesn't really mix very much together with the blue to make a green, but you still don't want to put them on top of each other if you can help it. Then I begin using that coral color as well. I'm just going to run it right up into the blue area. Now I'm coming back in with that darker blue and I'm just adding these stormy, swirling clouds that are up here. I also have my trusty spray bottle here where I am making sure that it stays wet. If it starts to dry out a little bit where it's not spreading, I give that sucker a spray, like right here. I'm just continuing to layer in thicker and thicker consistencies of this French ultramarine and Payne's gray mix. And as long as I continue to add more pigment to that paint mix, rather than putting in more water and then coming back into it, I should be fine and not be causing any backruns. The way that you cause backruns is you add in a color that has more water in it. So just make sure that you add more and more pigment. My coral is getting lost here a little bit, so I add in a thicker consistency of that coral color to make sure that it does not get lost. And I'm still making it darker and darker. I'm not exactly sure how many times I sprayed this to make sure that the washes were still moving, but it was at least 2, so make sure that you're doing that. You don't want it to dry out on you because then you'll see all your brush strokes and it won't be as fluffy cloudy. And that is, by the way, the technical term for that, just so you know. Oh, and here's another spray. I saw it. There you go. And another spray. That's at least 3, maybe 4 that I've seen. All right, I have let all of that dry, and now I'm wanting to amp up the intensity of that coral color. So I give it a spray so that it can spread a little bit, and then I bring back in the coral. Feel like I lost a little bit of my yellow too, so I'm bringing back in some of the Naples Yellow here at the bottom and spreading that out with clean water. Okay, so I let all of that dry, but here we have a shenanigan, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I did, but it was a really dumb mistake because I wanted my horizon line to be really straight, so I put down some painter's tape and then wet below that and then started dropping in my color. I apologize for you not being able to see all of that, but I guess I got my camera off a little bit. So I started laying in the color, and I started with the dark blue, and then I put in some of the coral, and then I blended it over to the yellow. But then I noticed that the paint just absolutely bled through that tape. I mean, it just rushed under there and had this huge bloom. So I had to like pull the tape off and then try to manage that bleed. And basically I took like a shop towel to it and got rid of it, and then added in my color. But I mean, I've never had that tape fail on me like that. I don't think I got it pressed down well enough. And then I went ahead and took the straight edge of a shop towel and laid it down there on that horizon as straight as I could, and then dabbed out as much of that paint and made it as dry as I could so that it wouldn't continue to bleed back up there. Okay, now that I have let that dry, and now that I've moved my camera up so that you can actually see what I'm doing, I'm adding in some of that really, really dark blue. In fact, I've added in some more Payne's gray, and I am making that darker, and I'm coming in with some wave details here. In this middle ground between the blue and the coral, I've also mixed up a purple between those two colors. I really just mixed the two colors together, and I added a little transition there. And then I transitioned into the coral, adding some more waves there. And then the same thing with the yellow. I mixed a little bit of the yellow with the coral to make a little bit of an orange, and we're just adding in some of that color. Then I added in some wave detail with the purple onto the yellow part because I didn't want to add the blue into it and turn it green. Okay, so I've let all that dry, but now I'm going to come back in and add some definition by lifting out some highlights in the clouds, some separation between the different clouds. So I'm taking my tiny little number 4 chisel brush, and I am using some clean water, and I'm just scrubbing the areas a little bit that I want to be lighter. Not going crazy with it though, because I don't want to make pills on the paper. And then I'm dabbing it out with a shop towel, and that helps to bring it back to a lighter color. Now that all of this is dry, I'm actually coming back in with some Payne's Gray and adding the very, very far distant headland here. Now you can barely see this in the photo, and I'm probably making it a little bigger than it was in the photo, but I do think that it is helpful for some context here. Now, we need a little bit of highlight on the water here. So I'm actually taking an X-acto knife and a ruler, and I'm running the X-acto knife along and scraping the paper with it. Running it along the ruler helps to keep it a little bit straighter on that horizon line, and then I just add in some more scrapes. And I'm just going to continue to do that until it looks like there's reflections of the light on the water here. You just want to make sure that you're not going so crazy with it that you cut through your paper. And to be perfectly honest, doing it this way is really a test of your patience. I'm loving what's happening with these clouds here, but there is in the picture just a little bit of highlight where it's got kind of an orange tone. So I'm actually coming back in and I'm taking a pretty much neon orange soft pastel, and I'm adding a little bit of highlight to the coral part of the clouds. And I'm blending that out a little bit with my fingers. And here's the finished product, all signed and with the tape removed. And there you have it, a beautiful dramatic sky over the sea to make you forget that we're in the middle of winter. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that stuff, because that's how this channel gets to grow. Thanks for watching. I will see you again next time.